prisoner transfer for Abdul Basit Ali Mohammed Al-Megrahi, I accordingly reject. I now turn to the issue of compassionate release. Section 3 of the Prisoners and Criminal Proceedings Scotland Act 1993 gives the Scottish ministers the power to release prisoners on licence on compassionate grounds. The Act requires that ministers are satisfied that there are compassionate grounds justifying the release of a person serving a sentence of imprisonment. Although the Act does not specify what the grounds for compassionate release are, guidance from the Scottish Prison Service, who assess applications, suggests that it may be considered where a prisoner is suffering from a terminal illness and death is likely to occur soon.
So let's be compassionate to all the
There are no
prisoners
fixed
dying.
time limits, but life expectancy of less than 3 months may be considered an appropriate period.
No, it's not everybody.
The guidance makes it clear that all prisoners, irrespective of sentence length, are eligible to be considered for compassionate release.
Let them all
That
out.
guidance dates from 2005.
It's only being let out because the government's
On
involved.
24th July 2009, I received an application from Mr. Al-Megrahi for compassionate release. He was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer in September 2008. I have been regularly updated as to the progression of his illness. I have received numerous comprehensive medical reports, including the opinions of consultants who have been treating him. It is quite clear to the medical experts that he has a terminal illness, and indeed that there has recently been a significant deterioration in his health. In order to consider the application for compassionate release, I was provided with reports and recommendations by the Governor of Greenock Prison, the doctors, and prison social work staff. Also, as laid out in statute, I've consulted the parole board. This is the normal process for consideration of an application for compassionate release, and my decision is in accordance with all the advice given to me. It is the opinion of the Scottish Prison Service doctors who have dealt with it prior to, during, and following the diagnosis of prostate cancer, and having seen him during each of these stages, that his clinical condition has declined significantly. Assessment by a range of specialists has reached the firm consensus that his disease is, after several different trials of treatment, hormone resistant. That is, resistant to any treatment options of known effectiveness.
So die with your family,
Consensus and prognosis, therefore, has moved
like everybody
to the
should.
lower end of expectations.
It's kind of a hard line.
Mr.
Compassion
Al-Megrahi
versus
was examined by Scottish Prison Service doctors
means
on 3rd August.
let everybody out.
A report dated 10th August from the Director of Health and Care for the Scottish Prison Service
Do you think they do this for every
Indicate.
regular inmate? No.
that the 3-month prognosis
Just high
is
prisoner.
now a reasonable estimate. The advice they have provided is based
He could be alive for
not
3 more
only
years.
on their own physical examination, but draws on the opinion of other specialists and consultants who have been involved in his care
People that
and
die.
treatment.
Mm.
He may die sooner, he may live longer.
Right.
I can only base my decision on the medical advice I have before me.
If he gets out, every
Medical
dying prisoner should be
Let me
allowed to
make
get out
available
across the world.
The
This is
United
ridiculous.
States government, at their request, and has been published on grounds of public interest.
Yeah, public interest.
It
Let
has been
all
suggested
dying
that
inmates
Mr.
out of
Al-Megrahi
jail.
could be released from prison to reside elsewhere in Scotland. Clear advice from senior police officers is that the security implications of such a move would be severe.
Exactly.
I have therefore ruled that out as an option.
Right. Get some very angry family members, I'm sure.
Having met the criteria, it therefore falls to me to decide whether Mr. Al-Megrahi should be released on compassionate grounds.
Right, they put you as the fall guy.
I am conscious that there are deeply held feelings and that many will disagree whatever my decision. However, a decision has to be made.
Right, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Scotland will forever remember the crime that has been perpetrated against our people and those from many other lands.
Right.
The pain and suffering will remain forever. Some hurt can never heal. Some scars can never fade.
So why let him out?
Those who have been bereaved cannot be expected to forget, let alone forgive.
It's rigged.
Their
Let
pain
him out.
runs deep,
It's not right
and
to
the
every
wounds remain.
other dying inmate should be let
However,
out if you let him out.
Mr. Al-Megrahi now faces a sentence imposed by a higher power. It is one that no court in any jurisdiction in any land could revoke or overrule. It is terminal, final, and irrevocable. He is going to die. In Scotland, we are a people who pride ourselves on our humanity. It is viewed as a defining characteristic of Scotland and the Scottish people. The perpetration of an atrocity and outrage cannot and should not be a basis for losing sight of who we are, the values we seek to uphold, and the faith and beliefs by which we seek to live.
So let every dying prisoner out.
Mr. Al-Megrahi did not show his victims any comfort or compassion.
At all.
They were not allowed to return to the bosom of their families to see out their lives, let alone their dying days.
Right.
No compassion was shown by him to them. But that alone is not a reason for us to deny compassion to him and his family in his final days.
So turn this into a world law. Every dying
Our
person
justice system
gets out of jail.
demands that judgment be imposed, but compassion be available. Our beliefs dictate that justice be served, but mercy be shown. Compassion and mercy are about upholding the beliefs that we seek to live by, remaining true to our values as a people, no matter the severity of the provocation or the atrocity perpetrated. For these reasons, and these reasons alone, it is my decision that Mr. Abdel Bassett Ali Mohammed Al-Megrahi, convicted in 2001 for the Lockerbie bombing, now terminally ill with prostate cancer, be released on compassionate grounds and are allowed to return to Libya to die. I will now take questions.
Wow. Okay. 30 seconds. Okay. If this is going to happen, and let someone out for compassionate reasons, which I thought people shouldn't have to die in jail. Horrible what this man did, but this one time they're going to let him out. This deal is so high profile, this guy in jail. What he did, all those people he killed is so high profile that he's getting special treatment. Let every person out of jail who was dying so they can be with their family. They're going to let one out, let them all out. It's not fair. Peace and love and compassion is good, but please be fair.